GitHub is a software repository. And what is a repository? It's a warehouse where you can store code. So that's what GitHub is. And GitHub has additional functionalities that make it popular amongst technology companies because it makes it easier to work on projects as a group. So the way it works is you have a software development team. The senior developer uploads the base code to GitHub. He shares that with his team. The team takes the base code, downloads it to their desktop, makes adjustments to it according to their assignment. Then they upload their code to GitHub. The senior software developer can look at it and say, oh, this looks good. Let's merge it with the original master code. He merges it, and then the process starts over again, right? So that's what GitHub is used for in the professional arena. But what we're going to be using it for is just to get familiar with it, and also just to purely use it as a repository storage area for our code. We did Choose Your Own Adventure. We're going to upload that. We have a couple more projects coming up. We're going to upload those. And you might be thinking to yourself, why? What's the point of this? Well, the point is that our projects are getting more and more complex. And by the end of the year, you're going to be fairly adept at Python programming. Right? So if we upload our Pong project, our Density project, our Raiden, Choose Your Own Adventure game, build your own game at the end of the year, then what you can do is when you apply for an internship during the summer, you can forward them a link to your GitHub account. They can look at your code and they can talk to you about it, verify that you know what you're doing. And once they do understand that, then they will be more inclined to bring you onto the team, right? As compared to somebody who doesn't forward their GitHub account in their application. I had a student 2 years ago who forwarded their GitHub account to their college that they applied to. I think they applied to the University of Illinois, which has a top 5 computer science program, and he was accepted, right? And so I like to think that that had a part to do with it, because he built quite an extensive game for his build your own game project. So that's GitHub. And how do we get it going? Well, we're going to go to github.com, and you're going to say sign up for GitHub, enter in your information. And once you do sign in, once you do create an account, then you'll get to this page here, okay? And what you need to do from here is create a new tab and say GitHub Desktop. We're going to click on the first link and download it from Mac. Right. Once you download it, you're going to open it up and enter in your login information that you use to create your account here on github.com. Once you log in, you're going to get a window that looks like this. And we need to create a repository. And a repository is just a folder that has files in it. So what you need to do is open up your folders, and then you're going to say PyCharm projects. Go to your folder, PyCharm folder, and then you're going to pick the one that you want to upload to GitHub. And so here's my Choose Your Own Adventure, but I think I already did that here, so I'm going to do Basic Pong, and I'm going to upload it. The way you do it is you drag it over here, right? But it does need to be in a folder. So if your Choose Your Own Adventure is not in a folder called Choose Your Own Adventure, you want to make a folder called Choose Your Own Adventure and drag your folder, your Python file into it. So you'll have something similar to this. You're going to drag the folder into the GitHub for desktop. And once we're here, you're going to say create a repository. Right? So we'll create a repository. And I think I'm good here, so I'm going to go hit create repository. And once I did that, then you're going to that creates the repository on your desktop. Okay, but we want it here on GitHub so we can share it with the world. So you want to hit publish repository. So we're going to publish repository. You don't want to keep this code private. because GitHub has a service that they provide where they keep the code private, and that costs $7 a month, right? So once you start to create code that's a little bit more sensitive, you might want to invest in that, but for our purposes we don't need that. We're going to use the free version, so let's like uncheck keep code private, and we will publish the repository. So it's going to go through the motions of uploading it to your GitHub account on github.com, and it might take a little while, but there we go. And then if you come back over here and I hit refresh, you could see in our repositories in the bottom right we have basic Pong, right? So I go ahead and click on that. You can see here are the files in basic Pong, right? If I go ahead and click on test, it shows the code, right? So what you can do is you can give people this link here, and that gives them access to all of your repositories, right? If you want them just to take a look at one repository in particular, you click on that one and you give them this link here, right? And because we created our accounts to be public, they could simply just take this, paste it into their browser, and they're going to see this page here. And then they're going to go ahead and click into your files, take a look at it, and say, oh my gosh, look at it. This guy knows what he's doing, right? So that's what we're doing, and we're going to continue to use GitHub to upload our projects. And in the future, like towards the end of the year, you might look back at Choose Your Own Adventure and be like, you know what, that's kind of basic. I want to get rid of it, right? I don't want it up here to reflect the level of coding that I'm capable of doing. So then what you're going to do is go ahead and click on your repository, and then you're going to go to settings. And then on settings, you're going to go to the bottom and say delete this repository. So I'm going to hit delete. You got to type in the name of your repository, and it's right here, Choose Your Own Adventure, right? So I'm going to say Choose Your Own Adventure. Ooh, I think I need a hyphen there on each of these guys. Okay, and then click on delete. So now that I'm here, you can see that it's no longer here. Right. And then I probably want to delete this one here too. So I'll click on that, click on settings, go to the bottom, delete, and then I'll say choose adventure, and then I'll delete that guy. And now it leaves only basic Pong. So this is GitHub. GitHub has a command line like element to it where you can like upload code, create repositories, download code from GitHub using the command line, and that is far more efficient. But for all intents and purposes for our class, we could use GitHub Desktop to get that all done. It's a lot easier, and we won't need to learn all the different command line commands.